What's up, my dudes? This is Mounts and Fairy Tales, and we have arrived at the last day of the hype week for Season 3 of Last Epoch. Today, we are getting patch notes, my dudes. Let's just dive into it. Hello, travelers, and welcome to the final hype week post, covering the patch notes for Last Epoch Season 3 Beneath Ancient Skies. To kick things off, we have a patch overview video covering many of the exciting features to find in Season 3. Check out the video below. Let's get into it, my dudes. Patch overview.
Welcome, travelers. I'm Judd Kobler, founder of 11th Hour Games and game director for Last Epoch. And today, I'm excited to share with you all the awesome new updates coming in Season 3, Beneath Ancient Skies, which is launching on August 21st. This update introduces a new campaign chapter, where we'll be going back in time to explore the ancient past, a new system built around hunting evolving rift beasts, and powerful new rewards. It also includes a rework of the Lich Mastery and improvements to the Necromancer, Beastmaster, Minion AI, and a long list of quality of life changes across the game. Let's take a look at what's new in Season 3 Beneath Ancient Skies. Chapter 10 expands the campaign following the events of Majas's defeat. Players will continue the story by pursuing Apophis into the ancient era. As you chase Apophis down, you will traverse through a prehistoric realm filled with monstrous wildlife and flora. You will explore beautiful areas such as lush jungles and vast forests filled with dinosaurs.
Nice.
As well as crystal-filled caves and giant insect-infected mountains.
Yeah, I mean this is just gonna be great, right? Because like getting these new like areas, new biomes, bro, that's something I'm really looking forward to. Because as I'm like playing through the game now, like season after season, and character after character, I mean, it can get a bit stale, so it's gonna be like a really, really cool upgrade, in my opinion, to get like these new biomes. And I mean, they look freaking amazing. Like the lush forests and, the crystal caves.
As you get further, you will find dragon layers, and even the floating temple of Atera in the sky. You will meet some unlikely allies and find Nagasa, Osprix, and Wingari peacefully coexisting. Next, we'll take a look at the new encounter system, the Primal Hunt.
Yeah.
Throughout the campaign and in-game, you'll encounter mysterious rifts, gateways into the ancient era.
Okay, so they're gonna work pretty much like, kind of like the time traveling function also like already works in the game, right? So you have like these different versions of kind of like the same area, different time versions. So it seems like these rifts are gonna kind of like work in the same way.
On the other side, players will dive into deep caves where they will find the rift beasts and their nests. After defeating the beast, players choose one of the hatchlings to spare.
Okay, so we had a look at this in like day one, I think, of the patch notes as well. But you have to, so you're getting this hatchling, right? And you have to kind of like choose a direction for it,
which grants future rift beasts a new evolution. Evolutions add new abilities, body parts, and rewards to the next generation of rift beasts.
Okay, so there's gonna be kind of like tiers almost, or like kind of like different directions that you can go, but they are all gonna kind of like be different things that you want to get, like materials and items and stuff, it seems like. So you really want to, I think, like explore the different ones, I guess.
As you continue on your journey, you will be ambushed by the evolved rift beasts until you eventually find another rift back to their lair, where you can continue to evolve the current lineage.
Yeah.
By defeating evolved rift beasts, you will earn trophies in the form of primordial material.
Okay, so you're not gonna get it on like the first primal beast you fight, right? You're only gonna get materials from the beast that has like evolved,
ancient bones, and rarely one of a few select primordial unique items.
But that's rarely. Question is like how how rare are these items gonna drop? Yeah, I think that's a big question.
You can also trade your primordial materials with a friendly Wingari hunter, Scarven Bloodhorn, for primordial uniques and runes of evolution.
Okay, so where is he gonna, like, so is he just gonna like show up when you, so when you kill like a primordial beast, like is he just gonna like show up?
A new rune used to craft primordial exalted items. Primordial items are so powerful that each traveler may only have a single primordial item of either kind equipped at a time.
Nice.
Over 30 new uniques have been added in this patch, including 25 primordial uniques. Some highlights include Carrion of Creation, gloves which convert 6 other ailments into bleed chance.
Okay, so let's have a look at this. I don't think we saw this, right? So I think this is new. These are 3 of the new primordial uniques right here. So let's have a look at this. Carrion of Creation. Okay, so it has +2 armor. Armor mitigation also applies. 12% to damage over time. Okay. 110% chance to inflict bleed. 100% of ignite, frostbite, shock, time rot, damned, and poison damage converted to bleed chance. Yeah, so it really seems like these primordial uniques, they're going to be like super focused on like turning whatever other ailments and stuff or whatever other effects you have. It's going to like focus on like turning every aspect of that kind of like into a different one, but just like one specific. So this one has the bleed, right? And it turns like all the other kind of like elemental effects and yeah, time rot, poison, turns like all of that like into bleed instead. When you kill an enemy, it has 27% chance to explode with primordial blood, dealing physical damage to others around it. Yeah, that's also interesting. Primordial blood gains 71% chance to inflict bleed on hit per stack of bleed on the enemy killed, up to 20. Yeah, so this is like what this item makes me think is like, okay, let's get that item and build like a bleed build, right? That's really what like the ideas I'm kind of like getting, and I think that's really cool because in season 2, I guess it was, what I was doing was that I was focusing on trying to make a build around a unique item. Really cool. I mean, that's a really cool way to try to make different builds, I think. But these specific uniques are kind of much more like to the point. Like I'm getting like build ideas a lot easier, is what I'm trying to say with these primordial uniques. Okay, so let's see if it's going to talk about the other ones as well.
True Sight Glass, an amulet that unlocks access to a second tier of critical strikes.
Oh my god. True Sight Glass, 14% less damage over time taken. Critical strike chance above 100% gives you a chance to deal deadly strikes up to a 40% chance. Deadly strikes counts as critical strikes, but have an additional 300% critical strike multiplier. On top of that, plus 32% crit strike multiplier, 7% increased cooldown recovery speed, and plus 93% critical strike avoidance. Okay. Yeah, so this really seems like a crit, you know, like a crit unique. So if you want to go for a crit build, I mean, you should go for this one, right? What about the last one?
Blossom of Immortal Stone, an amulet that converts all void, necrotic, and poison damage taken to physical damage.
What? Hold up.
That converts.
Okay, so all physical, all void, necrotic, and poison damage is taken as physical. So that means that you don't have to, if you have this amulet, you don't have to kind of like pay that much attention to those 3 resistances, void, necrotic, and poison. You just have to kind of like stack physical resistance, right? 98% increased armor. Sorry, not 98, 28. Bro, that's a huge difference. 98 and 28, bro, that's a 70% difference. My bad, my dudes. 90% 19% of armor mitigation also applies to damage over time and +7 to attunement. Very interesting as well. Let's keep watching.
All void, necrotic, and poison damage taken to physical damage. And Tyrant's Skull, allowing any wearer to be accompanied by a powerful T-Rex minion.
Hold up. What? Tyrant's Skull? It's a primordial relic. +4 to all attributes, +12% endurance, +2 all minion skills. Summons a Tyrannosaurus minion. Bro, you're gonna have a freaking T-Rex following you around. Like a minion. +3 Tyrannosaurus melee damage per strength. 1% increased Tyrannosaurus attack and cast speed per dexterity. +1 Tyrannosaurus physical penetration per intelligence, and +1 Tyrannosaurus critical strike multiplier per attunement. 1% more Tyrannosaurus health and damage per 1% uncapped endurance. What? Bro, can I remove this? No, I can't. Okay. Okay, hold up. I need to see. What does it say on the bottom here? Sorry.
And Tyrant.
Okay, so when your Tyrannosaurus roars, it grants your other minions +25 physical damage with spells. And I can't see what's like behind here. This was really annoying. I mean, can we remove this? No, we can't. Okay. Bonuses it gains from its items are applied to them at 20% effectiveness. Okay, so I can't freaking see what it says behind this. I'm sorry, guys, but what? We're gonna have a Tyrannosaurus minion? A T-Rex minion? Bro, that's insane. That's so cool.
Skull, allowing any wearer to be accompanied by a powerful T-Rex minion. These primordial uniques are very strong. EHG is wishing you good rolls and good luck hunting. However, you may be interested in primordial exalted items, which are obtained by using the Rune of Evolution. Use these on exalted items with a tier 7 affix, and it will randomly select one of the tier 7 affixes and turn it into a tier 8 affix and then seal it, freeing up an
Rune of Evolution, so that's a new rune.
Additional affix slot on the item.
Bro, that's insane. So not only is it gonna like turn a tier 8 affix, a tier 7 affix to a tier 8, it's also gonna free up a slot. So you're gonna have more slots for mods on your items specifically.
On top of that, you can still seal regular affixes on the item as well, which means you can have a non-unique item with up to 6 affixes on it. Tier 8 affixes are oftentimes twice as powerful as their tier 7 counterparts, allowing for some truly crazy items. We can't wait to see what builds the community makes with these new primordial items in hand.
Oh my god. But so that's a primordial exalted, right?
Regular affixes.
Okay, let's see here.
Affix items with a tier 7 hunt. These primordial uniques are very strong. EHG is wishing you good rolls and good luck hunting. However, you may be interested in primordial exalted items, which are obtained by using the Rune of Evolution.
Okay, so you have to make this a primordial exalted by using that rune, right? So the exalted is like, it's not gonna drop as a primordial exalted. You're gonna have to use that rune to actually make it into a primordial item.
Use these on exalted items with a tier 7 affix, and it will randomly select one of the tier 7 affixes and turn it into a tier 8 affix and then seal it, freeing up an additional...
Also, bro, a thing that I'm seeing here, like, did it always used to be like the forging potential would look like this? It looks like this has changed a bit. The forging potential. I can't remember if it used to look like this. It just caught my eye. Can't remember.
Affix slot
I wonder if that's new.
On top of that, you can still seal regular affixes on the item as well.
Yeah.
Tier 8 affixes are oftentimes twice as powerful as their Tier 7 counterparts.
Bro, that's also insane.
Allowing for some truly crazy items. We can't wait to see what builds the community makes with these new primordial items in hand. This patch focuses heavily on reworking the Lich and overall improvements to the Necromancer and Beastmaster masteries, as well as core improvements to how minions behave. A new behavior toggle has been added that lets you switch minions between Assassinate and Protect stances.
Bro, this is so cool.
Allows for more control over how they behave in different situations. In Assassinate stance, minions attack enemies further away from you and more heavily prioritize bosses and rare enemies. In Protect stance, they stay nearer to you and prioritize attacking enemies that are close to you. Minions will now prioritize their current target more consistently and disengage less often when the player moves. Also, while in Assassinate stance, minions will have a longer leash distance before turning to follow you and will now teleport to the player if they fall too far behind.
Yep.
When not in combat, minions will move towards the player's destination, not the player's current position. We've also addressed a number of ways in which minions would not be updated when equipping or unequipping items. In addition, they gain more damage and damage reduction from player levels than before. The Necromancer's passive tree has been updated with new nodes focused on durability, leech, and critical strike scaling. Several older nodes have been removed or replaced, and new threshold bonuses have been added across the tree to encourage different types of minion-focused builds. The skill Assemble Abomination has been reworked. The Abomination no longer decays over time. Instead, it will remember the minions that were absorbed to create it, and will devour those minions whenever it sees them.
What?
Similar to the Wraith Lord. In exchange, its skill tree offers power based on the minions you gave up to create it. The Abomination skill tree has...
Yeah, that's so cool. Like, I haven't been playing Abomination. Like, I don't think that's been like... I'm pretty sure that I haven't played this Abomination skill before. But it was really cool to actually see Judd actually explaining and actually seeing some, footage of how it actually works.
Been rebuilt to offer more flexibility in how you design its behavior and damage profile. For example, an abomination that absorbs many skeleton archers can fire exceptionally powerful eternal arrows. The Lich passive tree has been overhauled with more identity-defining choices and greater build flexibility. Several older nodes have been replaced with new options, including mechanics for health drain, ward interactions, and dual wielding. There's also a new keystone that enables low life builds by capping your maximum survivability but unlocking conditional bonuses. We've added a new skill to the Lich's kit, Play. This is a hybrid melee and spell ability that lets the player dash into melee range and strike with a rending attack.
Bro, freaking Flay, like this skill alone. This skill alone makes me want to play a Necromancer this season.
If enemies are killed, they erupt into a damaging spell that can hit surrounding enemies. The Flay skill tree offers a wide range of modifiers, allowing it to scale with ailments, crits, spell triggers, or even convert into a pure spell. Several other Lich skills have also been updated. Aura of Decay's damage has been improved. It can be converted to bleed or frostbite, and its tree has new options to enhance its potential as a primary damage dealing skill. Death Seal has been reworked into a low uptime defensive cooldown that makes you incredibly difficult to kill. And Rip Blood now hits all enemies in a line in front of you and has new effects in its tree to improve its single target damage potential. One of the updates coming to the Merchant's Guild are new tokens designed to streamline and enhance your progression and overall trading experience. Merchant tokens remove the favor cost of a purchase, and you get a free one every time you rank up. This means that whenever you reach a new rank, you'll be able to buy an item that requires that rank, even if you wouldn't have otherwise had enough favor. Black market tokens allow you to buy and equip items that you would have otherwise needed a higher rank to purchase and use, while also removing the favor cost of the purchase, like...
Bro, that's insane. So that means that you're going to be able to get, like, these items that you would have to, like, earlier seasons, like, have to wait a lot longer for, right? So how it works is like you're getting ranks. So when you choose your when you choose your faction, like either Circle of Fortune or Merchant's Guild, you kind of like have to build up this favor, right? Or you have to build up this bar that's going to give you like higher ranks. So what this black market token is going to do is that it's actually going to allow you to buy these like items that you would not be able to get as early, you know. So that's really, really interesting. Something that they're doing to like the factions that actually maybe makes people wonder about, you know, choosing Merchant's Guild instead of just going COF. So I've been pretty much strictly playing COF, but this update right here piques my interest, and I really want to try and see if you know, how this is going to work. I really want to get into like the trading part because I love like hoarding items, to be honest. And like I love hoarding items, and I love like kind of like the fact that you can, you know, kind of like play the market, you know, that like you're kind of like playing the market. That's kind of like a way to play the game, or like making that playing the market like a huge part of how you actually play the game, and just giving it this extra layer that's going to help you and help your character to like a much stronger point, a lot faster, basically.
The merchant token. There are also new changes coming to the bazaar. The UI now has better search functionality for unique, set, and legendary items, clearer labeling of priced and unpriced listings, as well as a way to quickly apply a filter based off an item in your inventory. These changes aim to improve the trading experience for all players.
Cool. So the big thing also, like the big thing about this trading system, like if we are comparing it to like this is something I want to see in Path of Exile 2. Like, I'm crossing my fingers and my freaking toes that this, like, Path of Exile 2 is gonna be, like, inspired by Last Epoch here. I mean, obviously, Last Epoch is heavily inspired by Path of Exile, right? I'm hoping Path of Exile can be a little bit inspired by Last Epoch here and create a similar freaking trading system to this. Because the biggest difference here is that you have a instant buyout. So that means that you put this item. So I have this item. Let's say I have this axe. I'm putting it up on the marketplace. I'm saying, here is what I want for it. This is what it's going to cost you. And another player can go in, just search for axe on the marketplace, and my axe will pop up, and that player can then instantly, if they have the gold, let's say I priced it at 100k gold, instantly, if that player has that amount of gold, he can, or the player can, you know, just instantly buy that item, and the item is going to be transferred to them, and it's going to cost them the gold, right? That's the type of system we really need in Path of Exile 2. I mean, we really, really, really need that system, or I need that system. I know a lot of other players also want it. Like, you know, these Path of Exile 1 players that have been playing for like 10 plus years, excuse me, these Path of Exile 1 players that have been playing Path of Exile for 10 plus years, they have gotten very used to that way of trading, like, you know. But it does not mean that it's a good system. It doesn't mean that it really works. And I know a lot of people have been talking about this, but I mean, I just need to mention it as well. Because the thing is that I would really like to play more Path of Exile 2, to be honest. Like, it's one of my favorite games freaking ever. You know, I've been playing it a lot since early access released. And, you know, it's kind of problematic that there are so many things in Path of Exile 2 that we are kind of like just waiting for, that kind of like needs to happen when you kind of like have a solution to it by just taking some inspiration from another game. Like, I mean, Path of Exile is known from taking inspiration from everything, right? So yeah, this really needs to really needs to change in Path of Exile 2, and I'm really hoping that this system right here is gonna be something that we're gonna see in Path of Exile 2 very soon. I'm hoping for freaking 0.3. You know, that's I mean, we are a couple of weeks away. We are 2 weeks away from 0.3 Path of Exile 2. If, I think, this is my opinion, if Path of Exile 2 actually delivers on this new patch in a major way, like if Path of Exile 2 delivers a trading system that's similar to this, it also includes like a new class, and it also includes like maybe a new act, or even more acts. I mean, Path of Exile 2 is gonna, for me at least, probably blow Last Epoch out of the water. But if that doesn't happen, yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the battle. It's the battle of the Season 3s, my dudes. That's what this is. The battle of the Season 3s. Okay, let's get back into this, bro. We need to get through this video, and we need to freaking do all the reading as well. So come on, let's go.
Next, let's go over quality of life improvements coming in patch 1.3. Visuals and audio have been polished across the board. Dozens of skills now feature improved VFX.
I mean, the visuals, I really feel like they have been improved. Like, just looking at this, just looking at these, like, I don't know what the heck they are, like some kind of bee monsters
and sound
with like 4 arms and like the face of a wolf. I don't know, but bro, they look so good.
Patch 1.3.
They look so good. I'm hoping like this change is also applied to like all the other monsters in the game. Like they have kind of like gonna step up with the visuals. And not only like these new areas, but also for like the entire game. Yeah, I hope. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Visuals and audio have been polished across the board. Dozens of skills now feature improved VFX and sound design. New voice acting has been added for major NPCs in Chapter 9 and 10, as well as updated sound sets for many enemies. Loot filter updates now let you customize ground beams and item icons per rule. In addition, you'll now have the ability to select between many new, unique, easily identifiable sound effects, all making it easier to distinguish valuable drops.
Bro, that's really cool.
Stash tabs can now be cloned or moved in bulk, and stash search macros make it easier to find exact gear types or affixes. The Forge UI has been updated with clearer button placement and additional tooltips.
That's cool.
Support has improved across menus and tooltips, with better navigation flow and more consistent layout behavior. Audio sliders for music, effects, and voice lines now use a new backend system that provides more consistent volume scaling across all content.
Nice.
We've added a new UI element to remind you when ground tooltips are turned off, and one that reminds you when you've left a piece of gear in the forge. And there's new visual polish on Alt to compare overlays and item preview windows.
Nice.
Patch 1.3 includes hundreds of bug fixes and optimizations aimed at improving stability, gameplay, clarity, and performance. Terrain interaction and targeting logic have been adjusted to reduce cases where abilities fail to cast or hit unexpectedly. Loading times have been reduced across multiple zones, and memory usage during long play sessions has been improved. Other fixes include better detection for stuck characters when teleporting or using movement abilities, reduced screen shake intensity on certain abilities, and improved filtering options for screen effects. And we fixed several issues with skill cooldowns, minion responsiveness, and chat filters. Also launching with Season 3 are the Primal Supporter Packs, our newest set of limited time cosmetics. As always, everything here is cosmetic only, no pay for power. This is a way to support the game and unlock some really cool visuals in the process. Let's start with the Primal Traveler pack. This pack leans into the spirit of ancient exploration, with cosmetics that feel right at home in the wilds of the ancient era. You'll get the Primal Traveler Forum badge, a shoulder-clinging sloth named Backsloth.
Bro, that's so cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Like, I mean, the microtransactions in this game is, yeah, they are really cool, actually. And, I mean, I don't feel like they are very, like, forced upon you at all. Like, Last Epoch has, it's like one of the better ARPGs, I think, with, like, the microtransaction system. They have, like, one of the better systems, I think, because it's like, it's very limited, the amount that you actually feel like they are trying to push something on you, right? Very limited. And I mean, they look so freaking cool. Like, the only drawback has been that you haven't been able to equip them in, like, offline. That has been, like, the only drawback, to me at least. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep watching here.
The Bone and Stone Primal Hatchet.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool, to be honest.
Sloth named Backsloth.
Okay, so that's a really cool looking, like, back piece, right?
The Bone and Stone.
Okay, and then we have the Primalist axe here. Bro, that looks cool.
Hatchet and the crow-themed Carrion Scepter.
Ooh, yeah, look at that scepter. But having, like, that said, like, as I just mentioned, like, Last Epoch has, like, I think a really good, like, microtransaction system. But that being said, is that I think they would keep players playing for longer each season if there would be, like, like a transmog system, and it would be kind of like a system that you kind of like have to go and hunt, like almost like you have a sticker book, right? And you have to go hunt the different gear pieces, but as soon as you put them in your inventory, they are kind of like gonna be included in your list of transmogs. I think that would be like a really cool idea. I mean, obviously you could have some items that you have to buy in the store, but it's like, the more a player is playing the game, like if a player is playing 1,000 hours versus 100 hours, or like 100 hours versus 10 hours, the player that's playing for 100 hours, I think it's more likely to actually buy more microtransactions, to be honest, because it's something that really kind of like allows you to customize the feeling of playing. So just to bring up an example of this, it's like, so for Path of Exile 1, New League, Secret of the Atlas, I mean, like, I did buy one microtransaction this league, and it was the Shark Tornado skill. So it's like you have your tornado skill that is almost invisible on the screen, but when you use the shark one, you can see it a lot better, and it looks so freaking cool when, like, the sharks are flying around in like a tornado all over your screen. So kind of like things like that really makes the things that you kind of like have to do every season. So you kind of have to get through the campaign, or at least in Last Epoch you don't have to do the entire campaign. You can skip a lot, but kind of like you can get through the campaign with a little extra flair, kind of. That's kind of like what it gives you. So in Path of Exile, you're not able to skip the campaign. You have to go through the campaign on every single character you're going to be playing. So having that little extra, like, flair, like a skill effect or a type of cosmetic, I mean, it's really making that experience more enjoyable. Okay. But yeah, that's just my... I mean, it's sparking a lot of thoughts in my head, actually. So I was intending this to be actually just freaking patch notes, and that's it. But I mean, there is, like, the creativity of, like, how your character looks and how the skills perform. I mean, that's a huge part of games like this. Let's keep watching.
Rounding it out is Nigel, the last...
And look at this, dude. Bro. Just so freaking cool. Look at the toucan, bro. Yeah, it just looks so cool.
Who has arrived from his exile to the remote islands far to the east.
Very cool.
Next is the Primal Templar pack, which includes everything from the Traveler tier, plus a lot more. You'll get the Surian hide cloak, made from...
Bro, this cloak really looks like that autumn cloak that we got in Path of Exile earlier, not that long ago. It's not as glowy and as orange, but it's really similar.
Leather, feathers, and bone, and the
not looking as cool in Last Epoch, I have to say.
Sliced portal, formed from the remains of an ancient dragon.
Ooh.
There's the Primal Slicer, cool. A jagged one-handed sword, and the full Wild Hunter's leather armor set.
Okay, so here's the thing we need to talk about, my dudes. Here's the thing. So, I think, because we are comparing here, my dudes, and we're gonna have to compare, because the thing is that in 2 weeks, so Last Epoch Season 3 is gonna come out in 1 week. In 2 weeks, we are gonna have Path of Exile 2. And here is a big difference between Last Epoch 2 and... Path of Exile 2 and Last Epoch. This is my opinion. In Last Epoch, we don't have the entire game yet. I mean, they are still adding chapters, right? They are still adding chapters. This is an expansion, like what we are getting here, because we are getting another chapter that's going to involve like new areas, and we really need it. But it made me think, like, why do we really need that in Last Epoch? In my opinion, I think it's because we want to have areas and biomes that are really different from each other, and also we want them to contain more stuff in them, so that we don't feel like we are just rushing and trying to get to the freaking end game as soon as possible, because that's like where all the cool stuff is. So when it comes to comparing like the microtransactions in Last Epoch versus Path of Exile 2, at least, in Path of Exile 2, I think the microtransactions are so freaking cool. Path of Exile 1 as well. Bro, I'm just waiting for me to be able in Path of Exile 2 to have all the microtransactions that I already had in Path of Exile 1. Because at one point, bro, I was playing Path of Exile 1, like, it kept me in game, or what kept me like playing was the freaking microtransactions. So I think there is a huge difference in the quality of the areas in Path of Exile 2 compared to Last Epoch. It seems like Last Epoch has understood this. They've understood that, like, they really need to focus on having more of like the good stuff, pretty much, like more of the cool areas, keep like, you know, upgrading like the visuals, you know, the quality of the visuals. I mean, Last Epoch has a really cool style, but what's really hooking people into Path of Exile 2 is the combat system. How you are able to dodge, how you are able to, like, even though you are moving away from the fight, you can still cast a fireball, or you can still shoot an arrow. Those are bigger issues, I think, that Last Epoch should really be thinking about, instead of, you know, just like adding more microtransactions, more cosmetics, more like this. I think that's potentially what's actually gonna make people choose Path of Exile 2 over Last Epoch. Because if you look at it, we are in a very interesting point of time right now when it comes to Last Epoch and Path of Exile 2. Last Epoch has been out, like officially released for quite some time. Path of Exile 2 is not yet officially released. The Path of Exile 2 is like missing a lot of content. It's still missing a lot of content, right? I think what would be a good idea. So this comes from a player that has over 1,000 hours in Path of Exile 2, and I also think I have over 1,000 hours also in Last Epoch. So I've been playing both games a lot, and I mean, I'm not claiming to be like one of the people that has been like playing these games the most, but I've been playing them a lot. And it's just something with Last Epoch that I really like wish that they would fix, instead of like having this focus on the microtransactions, having or like the look of extra things. It's like there are some core things I think they should fix before, because it's like almost like people have been talking about Path of Exile 2 has like this identity crisis, right? Bro, I think Last Epoch has an even bigger identity crisis, because it seems like it can't. It's just something about the way the game, your character feels. It's like it can't decide if it wants to be this like super flickery, kind of like Torchlight style game, or if it wants to be a little more like strategic, like potentially having like the dodge roll and more of like a similar like character movement to Path of Exile 2. I think if Last Epoch decided to focus on and actually implemented the type of like movement. Now we're not talking about the speed, my dudes, okay? We are not talking about the speeds. We're not talking about like how fast your character moves. We're talking about in Path of Exile 2, you can, like I just said, like you can walk backwards away from the pack of monsters and still kind of like shoot at them with your bow or throw a spell or whatever. There's something like really bothering me with Last Epoch when it comes to like the movement of your character. Some people are saying, yeah, it feels like floaty, and that's kind of like one way to put it, but it's like it's a lot less flexible in a way. And I don't think like the movement skills or like the gap closers and stuff, I don't think they feel very good at all. So that's something I was hoping that they would actually address, like as one of like the big important things. But I mean, here we are getting a lot of information on like the supporter packs and stuff. And I mean, it's like first you create a freaking awesome game, then you create the cosmetics, right? And I understand that you need to make money to keep developing. I understand. But what you should be improving is like the main feeling of how the game plays. Not just like adding a bunch of stuff.
You'll also unlock the Primal Soul Evade effect, which leaves a spectral dragon tail trailing behind you.
I mean, that looks really cool. That looks really cool, but is it just like a freaking how to put it? Is it just a way to kind of like hide that the evade is kind of trash in the first place?
The Earthshaker footprints, with each step pounding the ground into golden tremors. And of course, it includes the Primal Templar form.
And so, like this. Okay, so here's what I mean with like the gameplay. So let's see if I can actually play this at like a much lower speed here.
Pounding the ground into
golden
tremors.
So let's mute this. So let's just have a look. Okay, so
the primal
right here. Sorry. Okay, so we need to go back a little bit. So
and of course,
shut down the volume. Have a look at this. So when the character strikes, so we have 3 enemies here, right? We have 3 enemies. we have one enemy on the right side, we have one enemy kind of like in the middle, a little bit to the left, and then we have one to the left. When our character hits the enemy on the right, it's really focusing on like, okay, this is right, it's this direction. I have to like hit in this direction, right? But when it switches to attack the enemy in the middle or the enemy on the left, it's like it's having to kind of like, you feel kind of like the character is forced almost to kind of like only attack exactly in a certain angle. Like the angling is a bit clunky. So when it moves from like the right one to the middle one to the left one, it's like you really feel like it's like not paying attention to the one on the opposite side, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but it feels almost like a bit choppy when you have a line of enemies like this, like one to the left, one in the middle, one to the right. It feels a bit weird. Let's see if we can actually manage to see this in slow-mo here. Let's see if we can dial it down even more. Okay, yeah, so 0.25. Okay, let's have a look. So let's see if I can explain in a good way here. Okay, so coming up soon, my dudes. Okay, just get past this. Okay, so here we go. So on this video, we're gonna see him attacking the right one first, right? Right now he's facing left, right? We can see he's like looking in this direction, right? But look what happens when he's attacking. Now he's kind of like locked in. So he just went from looking in this direction, like in a split second, he's looking in this direction. Attacking. And did you see that? You couldn't even see the character like turning from right to left here. Did you see that? Okay, so that was a bit too far. So it's like he's attacking right, and then like without, like in a split second, he's turned the other way. And that kind of like makes the combat feel, okay, here we go again. So let's just look at this entire little sequence here. So he's attacking right. Ooh, and then boom, he's back to right. And he's like running to the right. And all of a sudden, he's like changed his direction. It's like, it's something with like the, I don't know if it has to do with like the, if it's like a thing with the movement speed of the monsters. I know Path of Exile 2 has had like a lot of like talks about this. Like, what is it that makes your character feel slow? Is it that the character you are actually slow, or is it if the enemies are actually faster? Like, I think this is kind of like a similar thing with the combat here. It's like you're shooting, or like you're doing some attack that has like kind of like a little cone shape, like a cone shape going out like this, you know? And it's like, even though the enemy is like this close, you're still gonna see like the entire cone go in the back there, you know, which also makes like the combat feel a bit clunky. But my dudes, we're almost an hour in and we are not through this first video here, so I'm just gonna have to put this back on normal speed and let's keep going. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this for hours. Let's go.
Use in the cosmetic store. The Primal Vanquishers pack expands your options even further and includes everything from the Traveler and Templar tiers. This one takes a darker turn. Think Ritual Magic and Forgotten Power. It comes from the Carrion Caster 2-hand staff and complete Carrion Herald armor set and 2 effect cosmetics, the Dark Pursuit Evade.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the way, to be honest, it's almost like the way the combat feels is like really, it's really an issue for me, and it feels like it has to do with the play, like the movement of your character. Like, I'm so in love with the Path of Exile 2 movement. Like, that's really what I'm looking forward to for season 3. Also, just getting back in there, seeing what they have changed, and just that freaking movement just feels so awesome, you know.
contains the marble and gold Temple Night Wings, the Atera Portal, and the Crystal Edge Temple Authority Sword.
Give us cosmetics that we can earn in game. Caps lock. Hold up. Caps lock. Give us cosmetics we can earn in game. It's gonna keep us playing for longer. It's probably also gonna increase the chances of us buying other cosmetics. Why is it a problem to not have more specific cosmetics that you can earn in game? I don't think the gear pieces looks cool enough. Like the straight up gear pieces, they should be much more distinct. Like you should see them much more distinct. Like there's a thing in Path of Exile 2 as well. Like it's this scepter. I can't remember. It's like shaped like a hand, like a purple hand. I think you're getting it from the Breach boss. Not 100% sure. It looks really, really cool on like the art. When you see the item, you can see the stats, on the art. It looks really cool. But when you equip it, it looks like it's too big. Like it's way too big. It almost looks like a tennis racket or something. Like it should be smaller, right? Things like this. They are kind of super important to give the game soul, I think. And with like the visuals, and I think there is such a big potential of making, like, one thing is like the stats of an item, but if you can't like see those stats while you're playing, if you're getting this like, okay, yeah, this looks like stat-wise, this looks like stat-wise, this looks like a really cool lightning axe. But if you nail that lightning axe as a lightning axe, make it really feel like a lightning axe, like thunder coming down when you're striking and stuff, bro, that's huge. That's huge. Like how the weapon itself is actually performing, how it feels to use the weapon, like striking the enemies. That's kind of like a little problem that I think Last Epoch has. The feeling of your spells or your attacks having like an impact on the enemy. It's just like they're just flashing. You can see them kind of like flickering a little bit when they are hit, but it's almost like you didn't hit them with anything. Air or something. And then all of a sudden there is like a death animation on your enemy, and it's falling on its back and like wiggling his feet a little bit. But having that initial impact of the spell or the attack, I think that's way more important. Let's keep looking.
Also unlock 2 exclusive pets, the curious disc-riding Temple Familiar and the floating Sentinel, known as the Temple Attendant. And it doesn't stop there. You'll also receive the massive Temple Aegis Shield, the full Temple Knight armor set.
Okay, this is a really cool looking armor set. Like, these are cool looking armor, but running around, like, the movement in general, like the base movement, if the base movements feels clunky and like not very well done, like floaty, like some people are saying, it's not gonna matter if you're running around in a freaking gold suit. Running around is still gonna feel weird. So I know I'm a bit on the negative side right now, to be honest, on, just like what's actually being updated here. Movement and like the feeling of your attacks, I think that's way more important than this.
The Whispering Wind Evade effect and the Atera's Path footprints which shimmer beneath your steps. These supporter packs are only available for a limited time and can be picked up through the in-game shop or on Steam. And as always, thank you for supporting Last Epoch. For more info on Season 3, please read the full patch notes on the forum. On behalf of the entire team at 11th Hour Games, thank you for being a part of this journey. Your Your feedback, support, and passion continue to shape the game and our studio. We'll see you in Eterra for Season 3, Beneath Ancient Skies, on August 21st.
Absolutely, you will. 100%. 100%, yes. I mean, of course we're gonna play. Of course we're gonna play, right? August 21st. But the thing is, my dudes, for the freaking second time, Last Epoch and Path of Exile 2 are going up against each other, releasing a big update close to each other. You know, honestly, it's really kind of frustrating, because I know what I'm gonna be choosing. So like, I know that I'm 100%. I know that I'm like I'm gonna be choosing Path of Exile 2. Like, when for a week, so from August 21st to August 29th, that's, you know what, 8 days. For a week, I'm gonna be playing Last Epoch. Yes, I am. To see the changes, to see whatever here, but I have to be like honest. Like, this is the last day of the hype week, and these patch notes better have something, I mean, really good. But just, you know, just seeing like the footage here, from like seeing that the movement is still clunky, or like floaty or whatever, the impact of your attacks is not very visual and stuff like this, you know, it makes me a bit disappointed. But we need to keep reading. Season 3 launches on August 21st. Yes, we know. Twitch drops will go live for creators to begin streaming. Yeah, that's nice. Perfect. Downtime notice. Servers will become unavailable starting 24 hours before patch launch at August 20th, in preparation for Season 3. True offline mode will continue to be available during this downtime through Steam launch settings. With the intro and notices out of the way, let's get into the patch notes. Yeah, so that's a good thing. Like, that the offline is actually going to be available. It's really good. It's really good. Like, yeah, I mean, that's a big win for Last Epoch. I've been saying that. But that's more like, that's not, it doesn't have anything to do with like the game itself. It's just like how the service of the game works, right? Okay, table of contents, bro. What the heck, bro? There is so much here. Bro, look at this. There is so much here. Okay, I think we just have to scroll down here. And just start here, I guess. I mean, there's gonna be a lot. So, one of the biggest new features here is gonna be the Chapter 10. Added Chapter 10 to the campaign following the battle with Majasa at the end of Chapter 9. The traveler will hunt down Apophis through the ancient era, through lush jungles and places previously only seen in their ruined form, and be a witness to crucial events that shaped the ruined future of Eterra. Added 17 new campaign zones. Bro, that's quite the update. 17 new zones. That's quite a lot. Like, that's enough zones. I'm thinking, like, my initial thoughts. That's enough zones to keep us busy for a while, right? You know, just experiencing the new zones. Added 28 new enemies and variations of many existing ones, which will be found in Chapter 10 locations, as well as other areas of the game, like the Monolith Echoes. Okay. Completing Chapter 10 will give your character an additional +1 in all attributes. This stacks with a bonus from completing Chapter 9. Then we have the Primal Hunt here, Beneath Ancient Skies. Yes, that's the name of the new season. Campaign zones and monolith of Fate Echoes, excluding Quest Echoes and Arena Echoes, now a chance to spawn either a Mysterious Rift or a Torn Rift, which players can use to fight dangerous Rift Beasts. Yeah, so the Rift Beasts are pretty much gonna be almost like the what's it called, the Nemesis encounters, right? You're gonna pretty much find them everywhere, right? Continue with the Primal Hunt to eventually earn Primordial Uniques and Primordial Exalted items. Mysterious Rifts and Caves. The first time you find a rift, it will be a Mysterious Rift. When you use the rift, you will be taken to the Ancient Era to outside of the entrance of a new cave side zone. Because these caves are new side zones, you will not find any rifts in Echoes that have a tomb or cemetery. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not gonna be a mechanic that's gonna be able to spawn in a zone that has a tomb or a cemetery. So it's gonna be either or. So it's not gonna be one of those mechanics like if you think about Path of Exile, like you can have in the end game, you can have like a zone that actually has like or I mean, you don't even have to get to the end game. You can have zones that have like maps that have like different all kinds of different type of like end game mechanics, or like just in game mechanics, if you will. But the case here is that the rift is not going to be able to spawn in a tomb or in a zone if it has a tomb or a cemetery. Okay. At the cave entrance, you will be greeted by Skarven Bloodhorn, a friendly Wangari, who will explain what lies inside the cave and will assist you in fighting through it. Skarven will also act as a vendor you can trade new materials and currency with, which is explained in a section below. Inside the cave, you will find a number of different enemies from the ancient area, which will drop a new currency called Ancient Bones instead of gold. At the end of each cave is a rift beast guarding their nests. Okay. And then we have like the more info on the rift beasts and the evolutions right here. But listen up, my dudes. These patch notes are so extensive. It's so much info. And I've been yapping for a long time right now. So I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to call it for this part 1 of the Season 3 patch notes. And I'm going to continue covering all this information. Like we are going to be looking at everything. Don't you worry, guys. We're going to be looking at everything. You're going to get my thoughts and my commentary, basically, on all of the patch notes. We're going to read everything. But for now, this is going to be it for part 1. Join me for part 2. Heck, maybe even a part 3, maybe. I mean, this is a lot of stuff to go through. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, consider hitting me up with a like. If you want to see more content like this, consider hitting me up with a sub. Also, I mean, sign up in the comments. What do you guys think? You think this is going to be good? Like, do you agree with what my takes, or are you like, are your opinions totally different? I mean, sign off in the comments. Let me know what you think. I would love to see what other Last Epoch players also think about the patch notes so far, about what we're getting for Season 3 here, and maybe some thoughts like, what are you missing? Like, would you like to have something different? Like, what you think? I'm Mounts and Fairy Tales. You are you. I hope to see you in part 2 of the Season 3 patch notes. Until then, thank you for watching.